it turns out there is a two-state solution for Palestinian Arabs and for Palestinian Jews. It's been right under our nose. It's been created since 1922. And what happened, just to go back a little bit, under David and Solomon, the kingdom of Israel was quite large, just about from the Nile to the Euphrates, covering parts of Iraq, Syria, Jordan, Israel, and Egypt. And then along came the Romans, defeated the Israeli state. Although the state of Israel stayed intact, it was now ruled by Romans, and Romans referred to it not as Israel but as Palestine. So it is the state of Israel, aka Palestine, survived as a vassal state to many overlords. It contains a number of Christians and Arab Muslims in addition to Jews. The last overlord would have been the Ottoman Empire, defeated in World War I. And there we have what Palestine, Israel looked like around 1922. So what happened then is British, one of the victors, became the administrator of Palestine. This is referred to as the British Mandate. This is the flag of Palestine. As you can see, it's blue and white, has the Jewish star. They spoke Hebrew as well as other languages in that area, and this area covered what is today both Jordan and Israel. But Britain decided to divide Palestine into two states because they saw there were Arabs, there were Jews. They wanted a homeland for each group. So they divided that Palestine. 78% east of the Jordan River went to Jordan as a place for Palestinian Arabs, and then what you now know west of the Jordan River, a place for Jews. Only 22% of the land went to the Jews, and that is today called Israel. It is modern Israel. After the official new independence of Israel, Arab countries started a war. Jews were expelled from virtually all the Arab nations around it, almost 1 million. Very few Jews left there, remained there, and most of them were absorbed by the state of Israel. Depending on who you read, plus or minus 500,000 Arabs became displaced. They were not accepted. In fact, they were rejected by their Arab brothers and settled more or less in Samaria and Judea, part of Israel. Today, many people refer to that as the West Bank. They've been there for all this time. They've received a lot of funds and support from the United Nations, from European nations, from the United States. They have not been successful in resettling anybody, even though many other Arabs, as a result of the Syrian and Iraq wars, were very quickly resettled. So these people are sort of like under duress because of corrupt leadership. The money that's sent to help them is very inefficient. So today, no one is secure. Israel has great daily threats and actions from the Palestinian Arab leadership, and the people themselves, the Palestinian Arabs who are living in Judea, Samaria, also known as the West Bank, are subject to all sorts of deprivations as well. Now, the Arabs who remained in Israel are still in Israel, and they're leading productive lives integrated into Israeli society. So here was this two-state solution. One, The Arabs who are living in Samaria and Judea, aka West Bank, they should have citizenship in their intended country, Jordan, which received 78% of Palestine. They can either move to their citizenship country of Jordan, or they can remain in Israel, becoming something like a green card resident. Secondly, all that wasteful aid that's going to build tunnels under Israeli schools, enriching the corrupt leadership, propagandizing the people that live there, all that aid, billions and billions, which haven't done a darn thing, should be redirected to Jordan. Infrastructure built, cities, towns, other things built on a good scale, so that the Arab Palestinians who are in Samaria, Judea, West Bank, can, if they so choose, move and have a better life in Jordan. This is the former king of Jordan, father of the present king of Jordan, quoted here. The truth is that Jordan is Palestine, and Palestine is Jordan, and that is where a home for Palestinian Arabs was intended, should be, and hopefully will be. Thank you all.